Right, here we are again. Good afternoon, morning, good evening, wherever you are. I'm in the Netherlands and we are in the afternoon and ready to get another AccuSim challenge flight going. And that will be this little planned bit. Never mind the smiggity guy in here. I did something on my own, but it's recorded by little FM as it is. We're going from Cairns southward, and we're basically following the A1 highway, which is following the coast all along the eastern board of the of Australia. So following along, and taking some airports as waypoints. Some of these are waypoints just on the road to follow the road, but we're following basically the road. So some waypoints are a bit, well, oblivious. You don't need it because we're just, just go here. There's some airports in between, and there's some VFRs also, but that's also for a long way down. So we follow here between these bits of mountains and flight space. Here you have Townsville. There we pick up a VFR. Go along the highway. Station Hill is over here. Bowen Airport. Then we come into Whitsunday. So Whitsunday VFR, then follow along the coast or the highway, whatever fits us best, and comes to McKay. Total is 1 hour 44 minutes. Total distance is 355 nautical miles. We have 3 VFRs. We will just keep using the ones. The first is 114.1, and yeah, well, it's just for reference. Basically, it's just either coast or highway. That's about it. So I hope we can do this at a low altitude. Have something to see. Everything is checked and done. To start, yes. So closing the door. In the meantime, I'm gonna set up my chat so I can see people chatting should that need be. Battery on. Fuel. Props full forward. Nav lights on. Right, I already did the outside check, I did the inside check, I did the fuel stuff, so that should all be good. 331. Might as well already push this somewhere in the correct position. There we go. Okay. Pump on. Crack throttle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close it. Ignite. Full throttle. Bring it back to 1000. Bring in an alternator. Now, pump off, pump on, crack throttle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close it. Ignition on. Full mixture. There we go. Back to 1000. Engine running. Electrics on. Beacons on. Let this thing check itself through. We have an outside air temperature of 32. It's kind of warm, so it's also warm in here. So let's put on the cabin fan. Put it on high. This can go off. Pump, we don't need it yet. Done finicking with this thing, and I'll just click this one. Go away. Right. Lovely. Some more on an F-18. Okay, what do we do next? We set up a VOR 114.1, just so we know when we get into some kind of a vicinity. I will put on a timer, because if we follow our course, then we will be at waypoint 1. Oh, that's only short stops, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. 50 minutes into the VOR. Let's keep that in mind. Right. Everything's running. Then we see, oh, we're gonna go taxi, we're gonna go out. That's what we're gonna do. Starting rekindling my love-hate relationship with the steerable nose wheel. So many times refuses to steer. At least that's my view on it. Some guys in F-18s over there having fun. Oh, they're having fun. They're also constantly respawning, which is a bit annoying. I tend to treat this game like a sim, not as a game, but can't speak for others as well, of course. I should hope there's a taxi way through here. Let me check. And lo and behold, there isn't. Of course there isn't. I have to go back and cross. Damn it. Or I can take the grass. I will do just that. Just when I said I'm treating this sim as not as a game, I'm gonna take the grass. This is all Hilo stuff. Well, there seems to be a service road here. Maybe not a taxiway, but tarmac, right? Oh no, that's another helipad. Of course it is. Lovely. Should have studied the map before I started. There's always something I forgot. Because it's a bit of June checklist, which I generally do, but also generally don't in sim. So I'll take the service road. Mind you, I fly in a lot of small strips in real life where this is common practice. So. Of course, this is the international airport, Cairns International, but okay, you know, who's looking? And And hey, maybe we'll get some dirt on the underside of our aircraft. Who knows? Oh, this is weird. Photogrammetry doing shit on trees here. It's been a while since I've seen this. This earthquake damage style photogrammetry stuff. Weird. Oh, runway's over here. Lovely. Where am I going to? Oh, there's taxiway. Okay, I'll just make it towards the taxiway over there. Yeah, there goes an F-18. Poof. Look at the boys playing. Should be a it's constantly spawning on the runway. It's really annoying. There's not even a taxiway over here. How are people coming here? Screw it. I'm gonna line up here so they're not in my way. There, but I'm not seeing him. I only see his heat signature. But okay, fine. Parking brake set. First, I was gonna look at setting my stream on my phone. Wait a minute. Right. Okay. Let's see. I started another way. Normally I plan it via YouTube, but now I just did it via OBS. Is there something live? I should see something live now. Yeah. Okay. Weird. Well, I started it with OBS instead of via YouTube, but it's live. It's here. It's happening. So let's connect. So, and what I can also do then is share this link. I should be able to do that. So people can actually join this stuff. Shareable link. Yes, shareable link. Here we go. Here we go. That's just, oh, that's, I never even thought of this. How to set this up. I always do it via YouTube, and now I'm doing it the other way around, and it works fine as well. So, who would have thought? Teaching a dog all tricks. They're set. Right, aircraft. First order of business. Let's see, oil is what it should be. This is fuel, this is endurance. Roger, let's check the props. Cycle the oil. That's all good. Keep it here. Check the max. Right. Both. Left. Both. Drop scene. No engines shutting down. Back to idle. Nothing special. Moron in a jet. Go away. Landing light on. Strobe on. Everything's set. Guy in the jet seems to be gone. Flaps 10. Movement clear. Parking brake off. And on we go. RPM checked. And we're off. Easy. Gear up. Climb power. 24 manifold pressure, 2400 RPM. We're not going left on traffic because of a quite prominent hill. Going right. Flaps up. External lights off. I can put it in neutral. So we're gonna stay at roughly 1000 feet. So already we can start to level it off. And then pull back everything towards a nice cruise setting. When I'm on the correct heading, then I'll start the timer. Timer started. Get us to 21 manifold pressure. RPM. Lean us out to roughly 11.5 to 12 gallons an hour. This should suffice. Here we go. And the weather's nice for VFR. So, overflying Cairns. Trim her out a bit. So what we're going to do is basically follow this valley over here. Now it's a river, I know the road is over there. Trim it out, I said. Not to go that high. And just mosey on down the coast. Well, mosey is quick, of course. 180 knots indicated, so that's quick for a general aviation aircraft. Monitoring's good, everything's in green. We have an endurance of 4 hours and 20 minutes almost. 4.1, 4.2 hours. No, that's minutes. Hours, minutes. We will be in the air roughly 1 hour 45 minutes. So plenty fuel. When we came here, it wasn't that great of weather. Some light rain, some thunderstorms. This is good. This is nice. Now, like many of the fields and the areas that I flew through, not a big flyer of this area. Australia, Indonesia, Philippines, we've done it all. And upwards to Taiwan, Japan, Kamchatka, and then the Alaskan and Aleutians. Tracing our path back. So I'm not familiar with this area, not familiar with the landscape. So I'm quite curious. And we're almost there. I'm guessing from McKay it's I can do one long leg or two shorter legs to Gold Coast, and then the main thing of this trip, ferrying this aircraft all the way from Whitehorse, Canada to Gold Coast, Alaska will be done. I'm gonna look at what I have to do on this aircraft. I'll wash her, get the bugs off. I think the aircraft needs some oil, the engines. They are coming into the 60s in percentages. I'm guessing I'm gonna take out the fine wire spark plugs on one engine, and because one of them is running on fine wire, the other one is working on massives. The massives tend to work slightly less. They have more oil burn, it seems. They are more finicky on a cold engine, which I like. Call me stupid, but the fine wire for me are a kind of a cheat to bypass spark plug simulation in this aircraft. That's how I view them. So if I put in the massives, then well, there's something more to experience with the aircraft with rough running engines and stuff. In the meantime, I will be in the air for, let's say, 1 hour 45 minutes. So let's say 2 hours all in all. I'm yapping about aviation, about flying in general, about anything and anything. About this aircraft, about flight sim, about my own flying in the world, my experiences with that. But of course that's only me one-sidedly yapping, so if any questions on this aircraft, on flying in general, on whatever, feel free to pop them in the chat. And I will answer them on stream. If I don't have the answer, I will come back to you on chat later when I've sorted it out, so to speak. Right. We have a nice mountain rangey thing both our left and right. There's the ocean, so it's quite easy to keep our correct course. Well, it's always today in the afternoon I start yawning. Must be the age. Weather is nice though. Yeah. Well, the aircraft is dirtier now. You can see the water and dirt smears from the edges. That's more prevalent, but Muddiness is not a big thing on this aircraft. And flies and bugs, they are there, but they also tend to wash off, tend to disappear. I don't know. Now, this aircraft reminds me a bit of the Rockwell Commander. I had it in P3D. That's also ugly. I've said it before, I don't like the particular visuals on this design. A2A made a very nice rendition of it, but that long nose and that deep fuselage, I get it from a customer perspective, from a aerodynamical perspective, I get it. But it's not pretty. Not in my eyes. Here we are, kind of lost sight of the road. Is that me? Or is this road less of a highway than I expected? I'm guessing it is. I'm guessing it's this one. So that's a hard one to follow basically, because it doesn't stand out from all the other little roads between the fields. Yeah, here you can see car traffic over there. Doesn't really matter, our general heading is south. Our first waypoint over here somewhere is Innisfall, which is a small airport. And should be, let me guess, 13 minutes into our flight, so that's roughly 4 minutes. But like I said, if I stay near the coast, just follow it, there isn't really any concern. Navigation wise, that is. Lots of farm fields over here. I've flown this little bit to what is it? Innisfall with the Comanche yesterday, just for fun. Also such an amazing aircraft. I like doing this tour of this aircraft though, because it's just a tad small, faster. When actually contemplating also you doing an AccuSim thing with the Comanche AccuSim challenge, but the problem is I don't have a lot of time for that. I can do one, but with VA flying, VA online group flying, this one, online racing and work, family, other stuff. There's only so much one can do, right? But she is so fun to hand fly as well, this aircraft. Really well behaved. Not on rails, like less extensive models or default models. You know that this sim is made for 3 years on up, so it says also something about the complexity of the aircraft that are delivered by default. I think Innisfall is right. Yeah, there's Innisfall. Here this is an airport. I recognize it because of this. I think it's a horse racing track. So passing Innisfall, which is our first airport, and exactly on 13 minutes. So we don't have a lot of wind interference on our normally calculated speed and route. Following the road is kind of this is now the road. This is now more pronounced, but still, you know, over here it already kind of vanishes into the landscape. So it's a hard one to follow, this road. Now it goes here. Now you see it going over there, but then it again blends again. It's not a very well defined road to follow. Well, it is listed as the A1 highway, only on F-map of course, so I'm guessing there's not a lot of traffic going up and down this road then, although I would suspect it though. I would expect it. Even no junction here, just a normal branch junction. We just go south and we'll see what happens. Now one of our next ones is Tully Airport, and it should be between two mountains. A bigger mountain range and something what you could call a volcano-like. The Giringan indigenous protected area, which is housing Mount McKay. See how that goes. It could well be this one over here. Now normally when I fly online or online on in real life, I'd make a mental note of my route. The old days, which is fairly short ago, I'd make a navigational plan on paper, knowing what was my turning point via YouTube, via Google Maps, for instance. You know, if you have a picture of it, satellite picture of where you're flying, where you're going, then you can relate to it. Nowadays I just use a Sky Demon app on my tablet, glue my tablet in a holder against my window, and can fly sort of the magenta line, sort of, because it's all manual. I don't have autopilot in my craft. But it takes away the need for a paper navigational plan. Is this my road or is this my road? Thinking this one. It's very unpronounced, so really keep an eye on it. Which is hard when you're yapping away. Everything's in the green, everything's fine, running smooth. Four hours, 91 gallons per remaining 4 hours on endurance. guessing this knob here is Mount McKay, so I have to go through this one, through this stuff, which is fine. Like the landscape though. Bit of trees, bit of farmland, farms, and of course these hills. A bit crossed on my desk. That's it. The thing with track IR, it's quite finicky if you're not straight. It gives a weird image for me. So in between this Mount McKay and this lump should be Tully Airport. This is still the road. Yeah, this is still the highway. I like to fly like this in real life, but also in sim, and luckily this sim is now visually mature enough to do this, to actually fly on visual navigation. I don't need to know the area, because that's, you know, I just follow roads and mark some stuff on the map. There's Tully, small airport over there between the trees. I'm guessing this then is Tully town. Yeah, small airport. We're here at, let's say, 21 minutes, and Tully is... yeah, I'm not gonna bother with this on and off. Just following the road. And I know that on our first VOR we should be roughly 15 minutes on the way. So that's half an hour from now. Oh, freeze. Oh. That's something not happening very often. The fun thing is, if you fly like this, you can appreciate the scenery so much more. because then it's not only like a painting or a tapestry, it's something that you're using to get where you want to go. So I'm just following this road here, which well, Little Nav Map says is the A1 highway. I wouldn't call it a highway, but because it doesn't look very big, it just looks like a normal two-way motorway. One lane up, one lane down. Who am I? Right. If we follow this road, then we will also pass Cardwell, Dalaki Airport. Which is a, well, airport is a big word. I think it's more a strip, but we'll see that. But we will keep clear of the mountains. One of you may have noticed on my last turn, I immediately lost altitude. That's one of the things of this Aerostar. If you get in anything more than a 10-degree turn, then you really already have to pull yoke in order to keep altitude. These wings are very high loaded, so to speak. They are relatively small, which means they have low lift, thus also meaning they have low drag. That makes it fast, but also as soon as you get into any kind of turn, lift will diminish and thus you will go down. Somewhere over here should be Cardwell or Dalaki, I don't know. I think it's this. I think it's this stuff here. Could be. Like I said, following the road. Yeah, that could well be it. Like I said, it's more a strip than an airport. And so it is. Where's my road? Anyway, we're going to the coast to a town called Cardwell, and we're following basically all the way until we turn in, which is also near a hill or mountain called Mount Cutmore. I think it's this one over here, if I adjusted the distance correctly. town of Caldwell. And if I'm honest, I like one single engine aircraft more than twins. But yeah, this is faster. You can't complain about that. And fast is what you need on a big tour or a big trip. And this AccuSim challenge, I really thought I would be like 4 months on the way from Canada, from Whitehorse all the way to Gold Coast in Australia. But all in all, I've done it in less than 2 months. I think I started a month ago, the 2nd or 3rd week of January. Now it's the 3rd week of February. So yeah. Oh, this is nice. Beachy stuff. Mountains on the other side. This looks like swamp stuff or a river delta or something. Really cool. Salt pans, by the looks of it. Salt water pans. Would be my guess. Sea Farm Nature Refuge, Girame National Park. I like the detail in that on F-map. All this stuff is here, it's marked on the map. So you're not flying over charts that's meaningless, but that you can actually navigate on and know where you're flying at. It's cool. Hey, we have signal. 65 miles, 65 miles. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we're on the limit. We're on the limit. But this means that I can now. So, oh, we're almost dead ahead. And what's our ground speed? 195. Time to station 20 minutes. 30 on the way, so 50 on the head. We calculated 50. Well, little F-map did. We are there in 50. Nice though, this has a very saltwater crocodile vibe with me, this river stuff. Guessing this is Mount Cutmore, that last hill on the right. Gonna fly through that gap. I think the road is doing that as well. Yeah, fresh air. It's 26, 27 degrees aboard. Let's see if we can get that down a bit. It's outside, it's also 27, so probably not. Just a warm wind, but who knows. It is loud though, even with headsets on. It is. Yeah, here's the road going over this little sliver of hill. Mount Cutmore, it's over here. I'm gonna hop over this one. See if the road bends like it does here, then it becomes almost invisible in the landscape. Really have to keep your eye on it. And now it turns over here again, so it goes this way. You can see already that the river is far better. In real life as well. Water bodies are so much better to navigate on than roads. Because you see it go down and then kind of disappears between. But it's still there. It's still a 2-lane highway. Now it goes. You see it here. Now it goes over here. It winds through. It. Oh, here it is again. We should be nearing another airport. Yeah, between trees. It's gone. It's just gone. And that would be Ingham Airport. Should be just up ahead. Yeah, here it is. Guessing it is. Now I'm not so sure. No, here it is. Also between trees. You see how that angle deflects? If you bet higher, then you look more down. Then it would be better, of course. This is difficult to find stuff. But this is my main road. Slightly more distinguishable, so we're going there, following it, and passing Ingham. And I'm guessing also the town of Ingham. Passing Mount Helen over here. This will be it. Passing on the right hand side, and then we come to another bit of mountain, and then we have to waylay to the coast again. I'm guessing that's here, this little hump. So yeah. Airport is behaving. Gonna take a little bit of power off because I wanted 21, not 22 manifold pressure. 2200 RPM, that's fine. Fuel is fine. 11 gallons an hour. And all our T's and P's are in the green. And this will be Mount Helen. Scenery's getting a lot of different vibes now. This is not farmland, not anymore. This is. Not this. Remember correctly, this is all wetlands. This is some kind of a national park. So we're gonna waylay that a bit. But we will follow the coast. There's a sliver of coast here between the mountains and the sea. That's what we're going to follow. I've lost the road now a bit, but I'll pick it up again. Like I said, it's following the coast roughly south, so I can do the same roughly south following the coast, and I'll pick it up again. You could say the main header is just following the coast down. I think for the whole continuance of the trip, maybe a bit of inlet in the coming legs, but like I said, if I do another long leg, I'm guessing 2.5 hours, I'll be in Gold Coast. If I plop it in two and have 2 short legs, then I would have done this whole trip all the way from the northern Canada bit all the way down here to the eastern part of Australia in a month, or an equivalent of, what would it be, 30 flights, something like that. I think less. I'd have to see the whole tour for that. Calculate that, but I'll do that on the last trip. Make the whole trip in a little nav map and then see what we actually did. There's our road again, up ahead. Yeah, looks like. Now both on the over the mountains on this end, but also on the water over here there's aerospace, limited aerospace, meaning you can't fly there without permission, and normally permission isn't given because that airspace is there for a reason. Could be Air Force, could be anything basically. Practice area for Air Force or whatever. Basically it's noted as restricted. So deal with it, which we do. We just cut across here. Fun thing is now this is the road, but it was a very... This is not a road, this is electrical stuff. This can't be it. This whole road, this whole highway just turned into a forest trail. This really is correct. Can't make this shit up. Am I correct? No, this is the highway over here. It's on the right hand side. I said this is almost a trail. A bit to the right. Pick that up. Oh, watch my altitude. You see? Take a 30 degree bank and whoopee, you're down 200 feet. There we go. Nice and gentle. Nice and smooth. Right, we're going into Townsville, which is basically a straight line from here. And this is our VFR. So if I'm gonna change this to our course, it will almost... Yeah. Still a bit off. 8 degrees off, something like that. Townsville is situated over here on the coast. And that's our first VFR station. Now our second, and I'm gonna sneak a bit. 113.7. Putting that in. VFR number 2. It's already the dot 7 is already there. 0.7. That way I can play a bit between the station I'm going from, Townsville, and the station I'm going to, which is Bowen, I think. No, Proserpine, if I spell that correctly. So there's a vast area of nothingness outside Townsville. Must be nice to live there and go on hikes. And then we continue on. We keep the mountains again on our right hand side. We have what is it? Saddle Mountain, Mount Stoff, and Mount Elliot. Mount Matthew first, although that's looking more like a hill, but okay, I'm guessing that's this one. Built up area now. People living just outside of town. And here we are, Townsville, Australia. I'm guessing we're coming across Townsville Airport soon. Nice riverbed here. Only partially filled. I'm guessing the majority of town is over there. See, that's way more built up. It's not exactly high-rise stuff, but it's an ominous looking cloud over here. Nope, not gonna go through that. Still 28 degrees inside. So warm here. Well, it's summertime here, of course. Guessing that helps. And I see Townsville. Oh, the weather changed again. See, there's a lot. The weather warping in or something. Yeah, so overflying Townsville Airport and the VR. And I suspect basically on time. We calculated 50 minutes, it has become 52 and a bit. That's a weird concept this. Maybe it's also military, I don't know. Looks like. Yeah, it looks like this is military stuff. Although the airspace isn't restricted. Don't show the aircraft as well. Passing this little hill here. Does it have a name? Castle Hill. Now. Hello, Castle Hill. Some mining going on there. Harbor area. This looks like a, well, stadium under construction, or the photogrammetry is jerking off again. And the harbor. Right, now we're continuing on. We're seeing that this one switched around, so that's now actually pointing away from us. This little triangle here. So you can either do two things, or you can turn this around and then it becomes a from. There you go. Of course, this is our current heading, so I'm keeping it like this. Going to the right of this little lump here. I'm guessing I have to peek a bit. Mount Matthew. It's not even registering. Oh, there it is. Maybe. Oh, I don't think so. I heard a flutter on the engine. I'm gonna get a bit more mixture in. Bit of a peninsula here, an outcropping. The coast turns back to the right, so that's what I'm steering for. Where's my road? I've lost that a bit. You can see how fast this aircraft is. We're already 12 miles out of Townsville Airport. And we're there in 52, so in 4 minutes. 30 miles. And that's nautical miles, not statutory miles. Right. Passing this lump here, that's called Mount Storff. Mount Storff, over here. My next waypoint is Eyre, the airport of Eyre. Here's the road. We follow the road. Looks like it's joined by a railway line now. And then the railway goes left and the road goes right. Keep on the road. Keep it on the road. To see some lightning, yeah, there it goes again. Lightning strikes to the distance. Not what I want to see because it's exactly where I'm going. Meanwhile, the road is breaking off again. Definitely some weather over there. And we are 1 hour on the way, according to the timer. Still following this road here, but it's going all over the place now. It's not exactly going south. So we're going east. Looks like some kind of a railway junction thing. Now I'm guessing this bit of Australia is going east as well. Generally the coast is going southeast, in a southeasterly direction. But yeah, we still have the sea over here, so all is good. And I don't mind not going over there because we saw lightning stuff over here. So again, it's difficult to distinguish the highway from the rest of the, let's call them dirt roads between all the farm fields. It is this one. I expected more from the term highway. Anyway, we should be coming up on a small airport called Ayr. A-Y-R. I'm gonna assume you pronounce it Ayr and not Ayr. But after this one, in 1 or 2 flights, I will be at Gold Coast. meaning that my initial tour, which I expected to run for several months, actually is exactly done in 1 month, which is insane if you think about it, because this is a fairly normal twin aviation aircraft. It's not a jet, it's not a turboprop, it's not something that can cruise at 25,000 feet and enjoy 35 knot tailwinds. This is a fast executive transport, twin piston engined GA aircraft with normally aspirated engines, so anything above 10,000 is basically A, suffocating the passengers and yourself, B, suffocating your engines because there's not enough oxygen for them to generate cruising power. I'm guessing this is air over here, or isn't it? Yeah, this is an airport. You can see it over here. There's a dirt strip and there's a concrete strip. So this is the airport where, well, why is there an airport here? Normally that would require a town or some other built-up area for it to have any use. Nope. We don't do use in Australia. Some GA aircraft, small ones. Weird. River. This would be the Burdekin River. And I'm gonna navigate on that little sliver of rock over there. Lots of farmland again. Town called Home Hill. Flight report in 828 Discord. Right, we have our road again here. It is kind of pronounced when you see it because there are no other roads, like this one. Basically we're gonna follow. Oh, here's our second station. I was just gonna say we're gonna follow this road into Bowen, but Bowen just came online. So we're going there. That's VOR2, and we are there in 24 minutes. Our flight timer is 1 hour 8 minutes. Also means that I can tune now VOR12 McKay, which is 112.7. So when that comes up, that will be our end destination for this flight, McKay Airport. But for now we're following, well, basically following this one. We're following the road, of course, but we know that this is our station, and in 77 miles, we'll be at Bowen. Imagine doing this in your car with, let's say, 50 knots. So that would take you 1.5 hours. 75 knots would take an hour of 50 knots, and then half an hour of 50 knots, or 1 hour of 25 knots. So it would take you 1.5 hours. In this aircraft, 22 minutes. Ain't that fun? So this is the road, and we're gonna keep on it, and it will lead us to Bowen, and from Bowen we'll go on to McKay, our final destination for today. Glanced a couple of times already, but everything's running smooth, which has me wondering when stuff will happen. I had stuff happen once, but that's a long time ago now. That was over the Bering Strait, where one of my engines lost a cylinder. That's a fun film to watch, by the way, on YouTube, my channel. I'm sure you're gonna find it. It's quite easy. But other than that, this whole tour has been kind of smooth. This whole ferry flight has been kind of smooth. No real issues, no real biggies, or not even little biggies, little issues, nothing. The aircraft and the engines are performing exemplary. My road. I've got a mountain in the distance. Can I do something with that? Yes, I can. Don't see a name on it. But slightly behind that mountain is Bowen Airport. Some lightning up in the distance on that side too. There's definitely some weather around. Anyway, following the road is nice of course, but now that I have a mountain in the distance which I have to pass just on the left of it, keeping it on my right hand side, that makes it a bit easier. Visibility seems to be going down over there. Miles, 19 minutes, ground speed 175. Degrees in, 24 out. Yeah, so temperature dropping. Ain't doing a whole lot. Should make a lot of noise. This one I can't name, but if I look at the nav map, then you have live, what's it called? Sproul Castle and Mount Live, something like that. These two here. So I'm gonna pass in between them, and behind that we should find our Bowen Airport. Still is 50 miles away, 50-ish miles away, so seems less. here then. Direct is around roughly 130. No, it is not. I'm making a mistake. Bowen is not the VR station. It can't be because it's over here. This is where this bay here where Bowen lies. It can't be 50 miles, so I'm tuned into the next VR station. And this is not Bowen. The next one is as Proserpine. Bowen is over here. It's a small coastal town. So I made an error. Otherwise this real needle would never shift. If you're going straight towards the station on the same course and heading, this line would not shift, but it does. So the station for this line is somewhere over here in this direction. Bowen is over here. This is Bowen, which has an airport, of course, which is next to the highway, and the highway we can then pick up again. Highway over here, going down towards there. There we can see the airport, Bowen Airport runway, and the river. Does the river have a name? It's not a river. God damn. Looks like a river. Why isn't this a river? The Don River, yeah, you see. In the meantime, we're turning a bit. You see how quickly, if you go to a 20 to 30 degree turn, that the nose wants to dip. Well, there's Bowen, both the town and the airport. This is more like it. 138, 153. This is our highway. Yeah, when you get up close, you can see that it's a major road, but I've seen more distinctive highways than this. Bends off over there again. But what a nice flight, what a nice area to fly like this. You could almost say the Aerostar is too fast, because if you fly this with Comanche, then you take basically 50 knots of the speed. And a bit more fuel, you know, the upper windows are nice of course, but if you want to look at out the window, then I think this window is nice. The nose is a little less. Oh, I've got a station, and this is our end. This is our end destination. $80 miles, 1 hour 20. No, that is the timer. 24 minutes to the end destination. But first, Proserpine. Getting a bit hazy. And again we have the road next to what it looks like a train track. Not really sure. You can check that as well, of course. Yeah, train track indeed. If I'm correct, then the town of Proserpine is over here. The VFR is somewhere over here. Straight to the right, a bit to the left, to right. Now I could follow the road, which is now going after Proserpine, going slightly inland, so to the right, bending off towards McKay. I think I'm gonna just follow the coast, because that's basically a straight line to follow. It looks like kind of jagged coast, which is nice. Also I see lighting over here, and if I follow the road from Proserpine down there, then we're going towards the lightning. What I'm gonna do when I reach the town of Proserpine, I'm just gonna follow the coast. I'll leave Proserpine VFR for what it is, as it's a bit to the side anyway. And instead of following the road inland, towards McKay, I'm just gonna follow the coast in a straight line to the VFR. See it's again completely off because I'm my course is too much to the left. So the VFR, which is roughly over here, as we're only 12 miles away, really shifts if we're not on a straight heading, basically skipping to another radial. It's all fine, it's all good, we know where we are. We have our road here, and this will be the town of Proserpine, and from that town on we're gonna not follow the road but follow the VFR in a straight line, which should take us straight across the coast. There we are. So I'm gonna set autopilot now because I need a sanitation pit stop. Autopilot, enough altitude. So I've told it to hold altitude at, well, roughly 1,800 feet. And follow the radial that we're on, radio 136. I'm gonna switch this over. We are roughly 60 miles out. Our time to station is 25, meaning that we have done not 1 hour 50 but 1 hour 57, so we have 7 minutes delay on, well, swerving about, maybe a bit of wind. On the planned time our ground speed is 193. And I'll keep it now on time to start. Time to station. Proserpine. There it goes. Okay, be right back. Right, and we're back. Indeed, following the coastline. We are 9 minutes out, 30 miles of McKay. Nice coast indeed, lots of little islands. Let me sort this one out. Enlarge my chat again. So sorry for the looking at my seats bit. Right, there we are. Okay, almost there. So McKay is on the coast. It is a one runway airport. YB MK Yankee Bravo Mike Kilo. So let's look that up. There it is. So the weather over there is VFR, few clouds, pressure is 1008. Can already set that a bit back then. There we go. Visibility is 5.5 miles, but it seems more than that. It's gonna be here. You see there's water on the other end here. That's where McKay is. So that will be runway number 32. Meaning we have a 13 knot headwind and a 2 knots, which is negligible on the side from the left. And there's worse weather incoming. It's over the whole day. On the 19th from 6 Zulu to 18 Zulu. And Zulu is a bit weird of course here because the time difference is so great. It's like plus 10 hours, plus 11 hours, so 19, 18 could probably 20. That's in the night. Yeah. Minor showers of rain. 6 knots, 10, 6060, 10 knots, 8,000 meters. Minor showers of rain, scattered 10, broken 20. 1110 at 10 knots, 8,000 meters, minor showers of rain. Temporary between 10 and 10, 1,000 meters visibility. Major showers of rain. Broken at 500 feet. Variable twist, the winds going from here to also variable 20, gusting 35. This is weird. This is really for a long period. It's like 12 hours from 06 to 9 to 18. It's 12 hours long. You have a lot of showers and even thunderstorms. But right now, it's very doable. Runway 32 it is. Okay. See McKay, the town already a bit in the distance. We're going straight over this little top over here. Black Mountain. It seems to be, could be another one as well. So there's a lot of tops here, not all of them are named. Mount Xeramiro, that's on this side. Yeah, this is Xeramiro. I like to view this stuff. Right, autopilot off. Gonna waylay a bit to the left. We have the river there, and the airport should be on the right side of the river. Just near the coast, so it's, I think it's this little patch over here, that's where the airport is. I have the tendency to hear that one of the engines is sputtering a bit, but I can't see it. Don't see it back on the instruments. Oh, here's the runway, going straight in, but not straight in because we need 3-2. So I'm gonna hang to the left. Proper approach. Descent 1000. Picture's full. And this is the town of, or city, town, I don't know, McKay. Let's make a proper visual approach. Pattern altitude 1000 feet. We'll take that. On the runway, 1100 feet, pull out at 1050 and then bottom out. Keep the throttles a bit lower so that the plane can already start to decelerate. Now I'm gonna turn in for a proper downwind entry. Watch the altitude. Are. Watch the altitude. And now we're basically T-boning and saying, or would report downwind on air, and we fly downwind, which is parallel to the runway, but the other way around, of course. We are. Gear down. External lights on. Pumps on. Flaps on. You see, because I already slow down a bit, put the throttles to 15. The aircraft already went into a slowdown mode. Okay. So it's thinking ahead. First you slow down, then you go down, keeping 1,000 feet. Need a bit more throttle because the flaps are slowing us down. I want the speed to be right here. If my landing point is roughly 45 degrees behind, where I think it is now, then we're gonna turn in. Also diminishing some throttle because I also want to start descending a little bit. Base 20 degrees. And now we start our turn in. There we are, a bit high, but we'll manage that out. Flaps 30. And we are on final for runway 32. Now we have quite the headwind, 13 knots, so we'll need some throttle to make the runway. Keep the speed around 100. Could be slower, but I find that the 100 is nicely manageable for the Aerostar. Now we start taking off the throttle. Gently set her down. Throttle off. Keep her flying, keep her flying, keep flying, keep flying, flying. There we are. And there was much applause. Bit of braking. And runway vacated. Now if we vacate the runway, we put the flaps up, landing lights off, pumps off, and the transponder off. And let's park her somewhere. Why not let's do that King Air thing? I think it's a King Air anyway. Although it's a bit close to the taxiway. Don't want to chop someone's wing off. Where does this line lead me to? This parking. Actually this parking. Let's not do that. Let's put it over here. It seems to be the end point of a parking line. Bit of a weird space over here. Next to the... Nah, this can't be it. This can't be okay. Parking it in front of the runway exit. I'm gonna just put it here. There we are. Park and brake set. Throttle down. Electronics off. Strobe off, taxi light off, alternator off, engine 2, mixture off, engine 1, mixture off, ignition's off, other systems off, fuel close, fan off, Lights off. Battery off. We are at McKay. Closing my pilot report. That's it. Now, let's see. We are here. And this is what we did. Follow road, follow road, follow road, follow road. Yeah, that's cool. I like this kind of flying. This is really cool. Okay, clear it. Now, I have McKay as departure. My ultimate destination is Gold Coast. Destination. If I would fly that in one go, that is 2.5 hours. That's a bit too much. If I put in Bundaberg in the middle, what's something in the middle? Gladstone or Bundaberg? Let's do Gladstone. Let's do Bundaberg. Now, if I do Gladstone, that would be 1 hour. So the final flight would be 1.5. If I do Bundaberg, then it's 1.5. And the final flight would be 1 hour. I'm thinking I'm going to do that. So kicking Gladstone out. This is restricted area. That's unfortunate. But I could do this. Add a waypoint. Basically following this inlet in. Now from there I want to stay clear of this area. So let's do in between Mount O'Connell and Mount Gog. That should be very visible from here. And here's that A1 highway again. No, the one followed, you see it over here. It goes all the way, bending right here. We could also do that, but I'm taking this on a visual. Which also means that on a visual I can do Mount Funnel. I can take this one, this peninsula, but I'll just mark it for a time position. I don't have to waylay my course. Just seeing if I overfly this peninsula, and then from the left side have this kind of a wiener with the inlet here, with a couple of rivers. That's fine for me. Now there's also some islands here. What's this? Intriguing. But I don't need those because I can just follow, and in the end I will find this inlet over here. And from here I could go on the road. I could also say, ooh, there's the Bonnie Doon Mountain is over here. The Pointers is over here. Mount Jardine. The problem with mountains is they have a specific shape from this area that you're coming from. But this is nice. This is a nice. It's like a sandwich lake. Sandwich lake. I'm calling it Sandwich Lake. And just across that is Mount Yambao. It's not a very big mount. Mount Etna. They wish. Oh, centering off. This is what I'm gonna do. So I have a lake here and I have this mountain here. So I'm gonna say my waypoint is just that way. I can keep one course, one heading. It's all 127. But this tells me I'm over a twirly river with river here and Mount Yamba here and the lake over there. Then we come across Rockhampton and also some mountainous stuff. Rockhampton is easier to do on the VR. And also waylaying that we don't have to go higher. if I get the VOR over here, I can also just trace it, but I'll do it like this. Oh, Rockhampton is... Gold Coast is not my destination anymore, of course. Bundaberg is my destination. There it is. How do I find Bundaberg? Well, what helps is this one. An NDB. This river helps. There's not a whole lot of stuff to recognize here. I could go onto the road again, of course. Still 1.5 hours, right? Yeah, 1.5 hours. You know, I could get the road going, and also say, okay, I've got a VOR, and let's pick that. VOR Gladstone. VOR Gladstone is not a DME, so just direction, no distance. If I take the road here, then it would be taking me away from where I want to be. There is some stuff here that I have to climb over, but it's not too much. And I'll just take the NDB. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll just take the course. The NDB will surely follow, and that's okay. Otherwise I could follow the road, but it's around, or I could follow from here the coast, which I can also do, of course. Let's say if I don't do the NDB, but this is nice because these are all. This is Buzzard Meat Line. This national park. This is a very recognizable island in its shape, so I'm gonna do that. And then I'm just gonna follow the coast and the NDB. That's my route for the next flight. What I'm also gonna do is just set up a route for what we did, because the following line is now diminishing. Came all the way from over here. So just for reporting stuff on the last flight, 2 flights to go then. One to Bundaberg, and then from Bundaberg on to Gold Coast, which should be roughly an hour. That's it for today then. And this week we're gonna finish this. So thanks so much for watching, and